From the Center for Agricultural Profitability at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, this is Nebraska Farmcast. I'm Ryan Evans. As input prices for materials like fuel and fertilizer continue to climb, it's important for farm managers to keep track of cost of production. The University of Nebraska-Lincoln's crop budgets can be used as a guide for producers to prepare their own enterprise budgets, and they can be easily customized, especially in the new online ag budget calculator tool. For more on the importance of tracking cost of production and how price changes like the ones we have seen lately can impact the bottom line, I am joined now by Glennis McClure, Extension Farm and Ranch Management Analyst with the Center for Ag Profitability. Hey, Glennis.
Hi, Ryan.
Thanks for joining me again. First, how do UNL's crops budgets, which are prepared annually, and especially now through the Ag Budget Calculator program, assist producers in determining their costs of production and tracking that?
Well, Ryan, for a number of years now, I've worked pretty closely with Nebraska crop specialists and especially Bob Klein, who is emeritus professor and extension cropping system specialist out in the North Platte Center. And for the 2022 crop year, we put together 84 base crop budgets, including typical field operations and materials and services inputs that we publish each fall. The budgets are available for modification in the new agriculture budget calculator, and we refer to it as the ABC program. And it's easier now than ever to customize those budgets for individual farms. Anyone interested can create their own account to use the ABC program and then download those crop budgets that they're interested in. And then they can go in and adjust the inputs and prices to match what they've paid, kind of an average price that they're projecting, or now they may know exactly what they've paid for some of those inputs. So they can go in and adjust those and then kind of figure their cost of production from that. So we saw fertilizer costs increasing in 2021, and those costs were nearly double by the time we prepared the budgets in the fall. After that, we continue to see an uptick in those prices along with other input costs. So anyone that is utilizing the Nebraska crop budgets should make the necessary adjustments to reflect more accurately their costs. And they can do so much, much easier now in downloading those into the ABC program.
So we know that input prices for things like fuel and fertilizer have been climbing. If people are using ABC or crop budget files, is it easy to account for these changes? Because many of those prices have risen since the new budgets were released in October.
Well, yes. Producers and ag managers, again, can download budgets that, from the university, or they can create their own actually, and not even utilize ours, of course, in the program. But there's a tab on that is a manage inputs tab in the ABC program. And so they can just go in and update the prices, their prices for materials and services, or they can delete materials that we might have used that they don't use, and, include those things that are in their budgets. And so again, that's the way to modify, or we say customize the budgets so that they have their own cost of production information.
In your new article about this on our Center for Ag Profitability website at cap.unl.edu, you actually look back at some profit margins for different crops going back 10 years. So can you explain what you did with these? And then when you do go back all the way to 2013, any trends that you identified?
Yes, I thought it would be of interest to look back over the last 10 years to see what projected cost of production has done over that time. So I picked out 4 of the Nebraska crop budgets to take a look at. So remember again that the university budgets are prepared as guides for producers and others to use. And we know that after they are created, actual costs may change. So even so, the costs figured in these budgets over time should provide somewhat of a picture of approximate cost of production for those years. So the graphs that I provided in the article show both the economic costs, which is the total cost, including depreciation and opportunity costs, and then a cash cost projection for those budgets. So in the graph, the insurance harvest price is also included for those crops over each of those years so that we can get an idea of net profits over those same years that I show. So the net profit figures here are based on the differences between the harvest price and the economic costs. And in these graphs, the net profit figures shown did not include government payments that may have been received. So I know in some of those years there were government payments. So I'm really just looking at the costs and again, that insurance price difference for each of those years. So we don't know where prices will be at this year at harvest yet. And with a lot of concern over higher costs of inputs and machinery this year, I thought it might be worth considering what profit margins have done recently and have the readers of the article consider what that picture might look like this year. Of course, we don't know what that insurance harvest price is for and will be for 2022. So you can kind of see the trend. But anyway, for the four crops represented in these graphs, even though not major, we started to see a positive trend in net profit margins since the 2017-2018 timeframe, with a more significant uptick shown for 2021.
What's your advice to producers, especially this year, regarding the importance of tracking cost of production?
Well, there's just been so many changes for 2022. Again, 1 week an input might be a certain price, the next week it's different. So with all those changes, it's really important that producers keep a handle on what their costs are. Again, their costs can be so different than their neighbors. So management and marketing decisions can be made with more confidence always if you understand and know what your cost of production is.
Glennis McClure is an Extension Farm and Ranch Management Analyst working in the Department of Agricultural Economics with the Center for Ag Profitability here at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. And again, you can find a new article she has written with some of those great 10-year examples of profit margin. She's written it on this topic that we've been discussing here on this episode. That's on our website at cap.unl.edu. Glennis, thanks again.
Sure, Ryan.
Nebraska Farmcast is a production of the Center for Agricultural Profitability at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. For the latest research-based information and education resources to manage your farm or ranch operation, visit our website at cap.unl.edu. That's cap.unl.edu.